All right, so Mr. Spites tested positive for THC, and so obviously sometime within the last 30 days or so, he's used marijuana, because typically that's how long, which means that he used marijuana after he pled.
Community supervision in the community where they are charged with a crime. I think it's important that his actions did not occur in Jefferson County in this case. He has a delicate situation right now, Judge. He has 5 children who are very, very small. I think 3 of them are babies or so infants. Additionally, as this PSR shows, he has pending cases in Fort Bend right now. He's going to court on those cases. He's dealing with those. I think having him in ISF is going to create much more of a stressful situation for him in providing for his children and dealing with those cases and resolving everything he has going on than it would to help him. And I think the point of community supervision is to help the people who enter into it. He's willing to do all the other conditions of community supervision, drug testing and all that. I think that ISF was recommended partially because of him admitting to marijuana use. He's willing to...
If I test you this morning, you're going to have it in your system? All right, so Mr. Spites tested positive for THC, and so obviously sometime within the last 30 days or so, he's used marijuana, because typically that's how long, which means that he used marijuana after he pled guilty on a felony. He pled to an enhanced second degree. I've got pages of criminal history here. And you would think, Mr. Spites, that based on what Ms. Hawkins is telling me about your family situation and your children, that you would be able to figure this out on your own and stay clean so that you didn't, number one, go to prison. I don't even have to accept this plea agreement. I mean, you've got 3 prior convictions, a state jail felony from 2019, from 2019, credit debit card abuse from 2021, and then an unlawful possession of a firearm in 22. None of those cases did you receive probation, which is probably why Ms. Malfino made that offer to try to get you on the right track. And Ms. Hawkins did a great job of getting you a probation offer on your case, or cases.
If I may,
yeah.
Part of the reasoning behind that offer that Ms. Hawkins and I discussed was that jurisdictional type issue that she addressed with the court, and also the fact that there ended up being no restitution that's owed to any individual.
Okay, and I appreciate that argument that Ms. Hawkins made, but it's also important, and I would hope that other judges in other counties would find it just as important, that if you're going to get charged, wherever you're going to get charged, that they take into consideration that just because you didn't steal from someone in our county, you stole from someone in some county, right? And so we got you here, but somebody's a victim, and it's important to me, and hopefully important to every judge in the state of Texas, that we kind of look out for each other in each other's counties. So I get that you were just traveling through, probably lucky that we got you, because who knows what would have happened at that point if you ever would have gotten caught, and that's not fair no matter what county the crime is actually committed in. Does that make sense? Based on everything that is being offered to you and what the pre-sentence talks about with regard to drug usage, the only way I'm going to go forward with this is with some inpatient ISF up front. So it's not necessarily meant to be a punishment. It will probably feel like it a little bit, but if you're going to be successful in the rest of your life and be there for your children, then you got to figure out how to stay clean and make some better decisions. So that's what's going to happen today. Any reason not to go forward with sentencing at this point?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Just my only concern with that is the other pending cases in
probation when he tests positive with this kind of history, and with technically 4 felony cases pending in 3 different counties. So
I have to ask Judge, my next question was going to be, is there typically a report date that could be given for ISF from the attorney in for it?
No, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it. And then, once he's in custody, if you'll let, obviously, Harris County know that he is in custody. And if they will put a hold on him and come get him, I'll release the ISF hold while he goes and takes care of with that. Same thing with Fort Bend. But then, if those are going to be probations or whatever happens, we'll put our hold back on once he's gone. So that when he finishes those counties, we've still got him for ISF. Sometimes what happens, if that process takes a really lengthy time, then potentially, if I feel like it's a good enough time, then I can hold that at abeyance at that point and require something like JCDI, which is outpatient. But based on the positive drug screen today and based on this criminal history and what all's pending, he's not walking out of here today, so we'll do it that way. If you'll get with his attorney in Fort Bend County, the sooner they get something set and get a hold on him, the better, okay? That way he can get transferred, get those cases taken care of.
And I'll reach out to those DA offices, Judge.
Perfect.
Maybe with the court's order, they would be willing to negotiate their
Something
cases.
quickly.
Yes.
So, Mr. Spites, I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney and defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 5 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine. There is no restitution. And you're ordered to enter and successfully complete. Mr. Spites, talk to her in a minute. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? You're ordered to enter and successfully complete the substance abuse track of the ISF program. And if you do all of this, this is a great opportunity for you. I know it doesn't feel like it today, but you have a great opportunity in this case, number one, without another felony conviction, and to be able to serve any sentence while you're out on probation. I want you to make sure you understand, though, what the consequences could be if you violate this probation. So if you choose to smoke marijuana again, or not show up for an appointments, or whatever it is, then you're looking at not just a sentence of the theft of property, which is the 3rd-degree felony. You pled to an enhancement, which means if you violate, you could be found guilty and sentenced to prison for anywhere between 2 years and up to 20 years. So I'm trying to keep that from happening and give you some tools so you can be successful. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement. I followed it, and so you've waived your right to appeal. You can go back with the bailiff. Ms. Hawkins can visit with you back there, okay? Yes, sir?
Okay. The fact that, already y'all taking me in, that means like I can't get out from here. How can I get out so I can be able to handle Fort Bend?
We're going to let them know that you're in custody, and they'll come transfer you over there from our custody.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to understand. Okay, if I'm on bond with them, like how would that work?
Ms. Hawkins can explain it to you, okay? All right, you can go back with the bailiff. Thank you, Ms. Hawkins and Ms. Murphy now. All right, ma'am, are you Lauren Bridges? And Ms. Bridges was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to credit or debit card abuse. I received...
Just for the court's record, she's still in treatment, Judge.
The restitution in the amount of what?
It looks to be between 600 and 800, so I'd say we go on the low end.
Okay,
In all fairness.
yeah. Any issue with that?
No, Judge.
So I want to know more about treatment, because it looks like there's a pretty serious issue, and what I had written down here was inpatient treatment, but
She went to treatment, was in treatment
Right.
before the warrant came out. And then once the warrant came out, she turned herself in, and then once she bonded out, she went back to treatment. Well, you can tell her what you're doing now.
Yes.
It was inpatient, it was in-house treatment, right?
at Riverwalk Ranch.
Yes, still there.
So you're inpatient there?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long is that program?
It can be up to 6 months. I do have a recommendation, if it's okay, if I go from there onto sober living, if they're agreed with. On the 10th, I'm supposed to be graduating their program and going into sober living in Tarrant County, which is Fort Worth.
I have several letters from them. This was prior, I don't know if they're really applicable to this, but
So February 10th is graduation day?
Yes, ma'am.
And And do you have any information specifically about the sober living place? Do you know what it'll be? Do you already know information about where the sober living is going to be, or will they tell you when it gets closer?
It's gonna be in Tarrant County, which is in Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know I'm not gonna know the exact address until the 10th. I could possibly get back there today and see if we can get an address today.
Okay, all right.
I can send it in.
Okay. You'll need to obviously get that for probation, because the first step of once you're on probation is going to be to get your case transferred to Tarrant County.
Yes, ma'am.
And then whatever the requirements or conditions that I set, you'll be able to do there in Tarrant County.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so it sounds like you're on the right path, Ms. Bridges. So I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. Find you guilty of the state jail felony offense of credit or debit card abuse. Sentence you in accordance with that agreement to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. But I'm going to probate that for 5 years. You're ordered to pay the $500 fine, also ordered to pay $600 in restitution, excuse me, and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. That is going to include continuing and graduating from the Riverwalk inpatient program that you're in now. Also following through with whatever their recommendation is for outpatient care, the sober living. I'm going to I'm going to allow you to do all that, but I'm not going to just allow you to do it, I'm going to require it. Okay, so you can't leave there unless they say that you have gone to the next step, or you are an outpatient, you can live on your own and all of that. Part of your order now and part of your probation is going to be to follow all of those recommendations, okay? If you do everything you're supposed to, this is a great opportunity, because for all practical purposes, your case here in court is over, and you'll be able to serve that 2-year sentence while you're out on probation. The other side of that, though, is if you violate any condition of probation, if you relapse, if you end up committing a new offense, whatever it is, then you're going to be back here in court and you're going to be facing that 2-year sentence that you just agreed to. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Parker. All right, if you'll just have a seat here in the courtroom, probation will call you up to her desk when she's ready to go over your paperwork. Good luck to you, ma'am. You should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Parker. All right, if you'll just have a seat here in the courtroom, probation will call you up to her desk when she's ready to go over your paperwork. Good luck to you, ma'am.